Not reflect those of the Evening Rush Network. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the Evening Rush each and every Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. with Dawn and Rainbow.
Hello.
How are everybody doing? Shout out to all those beautiful states. You already know what it is. Atlanta, Cali, Miami. Shout out to Hawaii, still on the check-in. Shout out to the whole New England area. You know what I mean? Appreciate y'all all on the check-in. We've been, moving around, shaking and baking. How are you doing, Rainbow?
I mean, it's Wednesday. I had to take my ass back to work, y'all. Oh, man. But other than that, I'm doing well.
Work is a beautiful thing.
I mean, it depends. You know,
I had to
it's
go
good
back
to make
work.
money. If I could just make money by staying home, I'm not even going to just say by staying home. If I could make money to do nothing, I would appreciate it.
It would be amazing, wouldn't it?
I mean, what?
I said it would be amazing, wouldn't it?
It would be amazing. No, you know what? I don't think that I would be able to do that because after
You get
you
bored.
work for after you work for so long, you're like, all right, I need to get out the house. But it would take me a little while before I would be like, all right, I gotta get out the house. But yeah, I wish I could just stay home and I don't know what to do. Anybody got a work at home job for me?
Well, I had an amazing week. Can't complain. I got to chill with family as always.
That's good.
You know, did a lot of driving this week. Chilled with my
Driving?
son. Yeah, I chilled with TJ.
Oh,
We got to relax and, enjoy father-son time, which was amazing.
got it.
You know what I mean? So, we had a great time. I was so happy actually. I was
That's
very
good.
happy. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
I saw you on Saturday.
Yes.
You had 3 of them boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
I want
Yeah.
to thank you for being uh their auntie and helping me hold them down.
Let me tell you something.
We had an
I ain't got
amazing
time to be
experience.
playing with them kids. I was like, get over here. Get your ass over here.
My
Get over
babies
here.
was lit and they had you going on a long run, I see.
Yeah, I don't know. We was together and everybody was like, so those are your kids? Not mine. Those his kids. Them his. Them his.
They were my babies.
Them's
I
his
love
babies, not mine.
yeah. But we had a great weekend. Can't complain. Shout out to CW. Great event.
Yes.
Um Definitely got to meet some new people. Shout out to Chef Beauty. The lemon pepper wings was amazing.
They were good. I
I
don't
was like,
know.
wow.
Something it was so I had a little syrup and some lemon pepper. I was like, I ain't never think to put this together, but it tastes
It was
good.
something different. It was something different. And
My
I can
waffle syrup had leaked onto my lemon peppers, and I was like, wait a minute,
yeah,
this
I
might be
enjoyed
this
every
might
moment
be
of it.
a regular for me.
We got a great show lined up today. We got Dr. Fink of Prince and the Revolution coming up at the 7:30 hour. And we're just gonna basically have a great conversation, get to know him and how he created the great sounds that we got to hear Prince sing on. But before that, let's get to trending topics. What we going at first, Rainbow?
I don't remember. What
I
was
feel
it? Something about
let's get
Rikers
on this.
Island. I remember that.
Let's get on Rikers first. Rikers
Something about Rikers
Island,
Island.
Rikers Island in New York is out of control. The prisoners is basically taking over. And
I told y'all that literally, no, literally. So officers are quitting at astronomical numbers. first of
Yeah,
all. But literally, they were literally letting the inmates run the jail. Like they
yeah,
were running certain houses. Like I guess where it was nothing major, but like when they didn't have officers, what you gonna do?
yeah.
What you gonna do? I guess people who are, on their way out and don't want, mess up nothing out, good behavior. They was like, all right, so you gonna take care of this job and do this job. I was like, nah,
Mm.
that's not why I came here. So I should be getting paid the officer's salary then.
Yeah, and that was what it was. Is like, it started off as, you know, we're taking in too many inmates, and because we're taking in too many inmates, now it got to the point where um the officers can't do their job, and we keep hiring new officers, but they can't handle it. It's too much, and I
First of all,
like
you the people are criminals. Criminals, you have to be a special type of person to deal with criminals.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely, definitely,
I had
definitely,
I
definitely.
had one once upon a time said, you know what, I'm gonna be a correctional officer. My mother said, no, the hell you ain't.
Yo,
She
it's a rough
said, that
job.
ain't the
I
job for you.
personally, I personally, we, me and you talked about this before. I could never date a woman that's either a correction or a cop because of the the amount you end up treating your man. You're in there so
Like
much,
an
you
inmate,
start,
you
yeah,
out
like
here,
an
you
inmate.
just out here like, no, you gonna do this. That's
Yeah,
not.
it's just the way
My
you
mama's
talk
not like
to
that.
a man. So it's like, nah, I'm good. I can never do it. You know what I mean?
Um,
But once again, it's this is something where the city needs to jump on this, take control, get somebody in there or some people in there that can handle this. Because at this point, um,
at this point, people need to stop committing crimes. How about that?
I mean, is that ever gonna happen? You see,
We ain't never
you
gonna have.
saw,
We ain't never. There's never gonna. There's always going to be more inmates than there are officers, no matter what. Always.
yeah, yeah.
And then you are locked in there with them, like you in jail.
What they need to do, though, honestly, is all the petty crimes need to be find a
What's
different way to deal
what
with it.
what's considered petty?
Weed, um,
Well, weed is
you,
legal
you
now, so
know,
they shouldn't even be locking people up. Go on.
urinating on the sidewalk, stuff like that. It's
I don't
petty.
know. That's what indecent exposure. You pissing.
Mm,
You got your hoo ha out. Somebody
so,
walked past. You done flashed them. Now they whatever. I don't know.
well, they definitely got to get that under control.
I don't know. Let me tell you something. If I'm drunk and I gotta pee, I'm pulling over and I'm gonna piss.
Okay.
Just saying.
Yo, let's get on to the next one. Oh, this is the new one. The Brooklyn pastor. What is? I keep forgetting. Lamont
First of all, isn't this the same pastor that got robbed at
Rob.
gunpoint?
Yes.
Now, because the lady was making a scene in the church house, now you want to manhandle her. He has to get his life
Lamar.
together.
That's his name. Pastor
What's his name?
Bishop Lamar Whitehead.
Yeah. Pastor Whitehead, Bishop Whitehead, whatever, Pastor Bishop, whoever. Mr. Whitehead he's supposed to be a child of God. He's supposed to let some of this roll off his back.
Well, you know what it is, and in his defense with this situation, he just got robbed. He could be nervous when somebody's coming
Nah,
that
not the way
close
he
to
was
him
acting. He was
now,
like, he grabbed her up by her shirt or jacket or whatever.
and
He was like,
he
y'all gotta
exited
get
her.
her out of here.
Yeah, he
Have
exited her
somebody
out of
else
there.
take care of that.
And then what
You
he
didn't have to
said
step off
was,
the podium. You didn't have to step off the podium at all.
"You're too close to me. I'm in fear." So by him sitting here saying that, I'm starting to establish that now that he got robbed in his church, he's a little
Which
nervous.
was a scam in my head.
You still feel
Um,
it's a scam?
what was I about to say? Right now he sounds like officers that just be going around shooting people. Oh, I feared for my life. That's what he sound like. So,
It's not a
sir,
scam. I feel like he's really mortified right now.
he can't
It's
be
it's,
because
it's
you
PTSD.
Look at
That's what it is. It's PTSD of the robbery. So now, if you get too close to him, he wants to push you away. I
okay,
don't see a
all right.
problem with that.
Oh, okay, but he wasn't acting that way when he was out in the streets with his drop top Rolls Royce and flashing more chains and stuff and this, that, and third, talking about yeah, it happened, but
Yeah, but
look at me
listen,
now.
as after what happened to PMB Rock, a lot of people have switched it up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have switched it up, and see, shout out to Mother too. Oh, you saying how is it not a scam? It's not a. I don't believe it's a scam. I believe he legitimately got robbed in his church. Is crime is out of control right now, especially in here in New York. So I believe
Crime
I
is
don't
out of
believe it was a scam.
control everywhere, not just here in New York. But what I want to say about that situation is, even if it's not a scam, at some point you are a child of God, right? And you want to boast about what God gave you. You should also be smart enough to know that there are the devil's children out here, and they gonna come get you.
Well, be
God
prepared.
spoke to him and
That
said,
that
"Calm
that's
it,
the most I
calm
could
it
tell you.
down, sir. Calm it down." And he
So
ain't listen.
this is the last one we're getting on, and then we're gonna do some more work. Um, oh no, actually we got two. Shout out to Cardi B, who is now garnishing Tasha K's bank account.
I mean, what was she supposed to give her? $2 million or something
Three
like that?
million.
3 million.
3.3 million.
What actually did she say that was
She just reported
defamation of
she re-
character? Because that's what
yeah,
she got
she
sued for.
reported something that is incorrect about her and Offset's relationship, and it caused. This is
What
why
was it?
I always say you say allegedly or you be prepared. That's it.
Let me tell you something. You could say allegedly or whatever.
Defamation is
I
defamation, but
just want you. I'm just gonna say like this. It's my. I can say it's my opinion. I don't know for sure, right?
mhm,
But this is how I feel. You can't be out here talking about, well, cause you know X, Y, and Z. Like, you can't make it. It's not a fact. If you didn't get
yeah,
it from the horse's mouth, it ain't a fact,
yeah. And now Tasha
and that
K,
makes it defamation of
now
character.
Tasha K owe her 3.3 million,
Mm.
and she wants some money. So she is garnishing all her
And
accounts.
the problem is with that is because this is what people do on YouTube. So it's like clickbait.
Yeah,
So they say what you want them to, what you want, what they think you want to hear, and they think there's not going to be any repercussions behind it. No,
oh, okay.
sister.
So Mother Two said she lied and said that she had herpes, and Cardi B had to get
Oh,
tested
said
and
that Cardi.
claimed she didn't have herpes and any other sexually transmitted diseases. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
that
Give up
note,
that.
yeah,
Give,
yeah.
give up
You
that
deserve to be
3.3.
sued. Don't be out
Yeah,
here saying people got. Oh, that's what they said about Usher. Do we know if it was
yeah.
real?
I think I should. No, you know what? I ain't even gonna get caught in that situation. You tried to set me up,
I'm
really?
not trying to get you caught up in that situation because it
it
was allegedly. Somebody said that
was
Usher had,
allegedly.
not
Yes,
us.
it
You
was
didn't say
alleged.
that. It's
Tasha K
currently
is
in
currently.
African. You mean
I
in
guess I'm in
Africa?
Africa. Yeah.
Take the N off,
Wow.
sweetheart. Look,
Yeah. She's trying to
lovable.
hide out.
It's no N with Usher. It was real. What?
Yeah. I think with Usher, they did say he had it, and he paid the lady. Yeah. Which is once again,
I mean, remember, but there was a couple of people that said that they had got herpes from Usher. One of the girls, they was like,
it was
there was no,
multiple people. Yeah.
yeah, no, but I'm
But
like, one of the girls, but then I think that was defamation of character too, because I mean, not defamation of character, but I think she got either sued because he's like, bitch, I ain't never sleep with you.
mm,
You out here lying on me.
yeah.
So Usher, apparently, because we don't actually know if it's real. It's oh, he paid it. Just because he paid her didn't mean it was real.
Yeah. Doesn't mean that it's real if he paid her. That's just sometimes
Because
used
that
to
just means he ain't want this
to
talked
go any
about no
further.
more.
Yeah, he don't want to go any
Just talked
further.
about it any further. He's like, I'm not giving y'all a test. It's not gonna happen. It is what it is. Because I'm like,
Basically,
Usher's just out here living his life
his best
like it
life.
never happened.
Fact.
Herpes is the gift that keeps on giving. So
Unfortunately, but I mean, I was reading an article, and they're saying a bunch of Americans do have herpes, and they don't know it. If they don't have an outbreak, you really can't tell if you have it or
a
not.
bunch of Americans have herpes because they have cold sores. That's herpes.
Yeah, well, that's a form of it. Yeah. So you can be walking around with it and not even know you have it. So it's some things like that. But to sit here
Look,
and
let me.
accuse somebody of it is crazy.
I'm going. Everybody go and get checked. God damn it! You
That's
got to get checked for everything. Herpes,
stay safe.
monkeypox. You got to. I don't. This
If
world is.
anybody wants to call in, the number is 929-282-0266. If you want to support the show, it's the Evening Rush. You already know what it is. And let's get on this last but not least.
Wait,
The
time
hatch.
out. Wait, before we get to that,
Go ahead.
mother of two put in that she said she sued him and he paid her $250,000. Let me tell you something.
That ain't a lot of money.
That means that's not real.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that you gave me herpes and you only gonna give me $250,000.
That's not real.
I'm just saying. That's in
He
my eyes.
probably. I think he just paid once again.
He
I
just
think
paid
he
her just so she could shut the hell up. That was hush money.
Yeah, that's all that was.
Because I'm going for the gusto. You gave me herpes.
We're talking about Usher, Grammy Award winning Usher, multi-platinum time Usher.
Mr. I got a residency in Vegas right now. Usher roller skating
Let
around
it
the
burn,
stage. Usher.
Like, no. There's no way. $250K, that's not enough.
No.
Yo, and then last but not least, the hatchet wielding man in
Did you see the video?
McDonald's. Yes, I saw the video. My man took some good shots, boy.
First of all, he was getting beat up.
Yeah, literally.
He was getting beat up, but he was taking those punches like it was nothing.
Like it was nothing. He was eating.
He was eating those like he was eating breakfast. Like, and he was like, "What?
But before we go there,
what?
Can somebody please explain to me why everything happens in McDonald's?
Because
remember
McDonald's
the last
McDonald's
couple
is the
incidents
ghetto
always
because
happen
everyone's
in
allowed.
McDonald's.
Because everybody's allowed in McDonald's.
This is crazy. Like y'all all pick McDonald's to act crazy?
Yes.
It's the secret sauce?
They said Ronald McDonald is a clown.
It's the secret sauce. But
the Mac sauce?
Yeah.
It isn't called Mac sauce, but they serve something like it. They sell it in the store now. It's called It's called hamburger sauce.
But I'm just like they locked him up. First of all,
everyone should have gotten locked up. What was they fighting for?
Nah, I don't remember. It didn't go into all the details of what they was fighting over, but they ended up jumping him. It was 3 different guys.
Was it a 3? It looked like 4 of them.
No, it was 3 different guys. They jumped him. He ate those. Then he pulled out a hatchet out his bag. First
and
of all,
then started breaking
everything.
That's why they arrested him. They arrested him for breaking property.
Because he was tearing up McDonald's. But he didn't cut nobody. And then when they interviewed him, he literally said, like, I wasn't going to hurt nobody. And I've been jumped multiple times. And this is the reason why I have this to defend myself. So it's understandable.
He didn't defend himself. He just broke up McDonald's stuff. He shouldn't have done that. He probably wouldn't. Nobody would have got arrested.
Because he did go and I think beat up one of the kids. That it was because it looked like 3 kids basically, but he beat up one of them, and I think he caught one with a couple of shots.
But the whole thing is, it was a 1-on-1 at first, and he was still getting beat up. Whoever was still beating him up. So I don't understand why the other 2 had to jump in because he wasn't winning the fight.
I think they need more security in McDonald's, to be honest.
They need more. You mean they need they need security in McDonald's?
Nah, my McDonald's has security, so I think they need multiple. You need multiple.
I'm trying to
One
think.
guy can't handle all that.
I don't have security in the McDonald's that I go to.
Oh, you don't have McDonald's security in your McDonald's?
No.
Oh, I have security in my McDonald's. Both of them.
You live? Where do you live? Like, I don't know. I don't
I
know
live
why
in
you
a
got
good
security in
neighborhood.
the McDonald's where you live at. I don't know,
We
but
live
we
in a
ain't
good
got no.
neighborhood.
Cause you live in a good neighborhood.
That's why. It was like you
But
need
I would think
security.
that you wouldn't need security in a good neighborhood. It's the bad neighborhoods that need security. But then again, they're going to hire security guards who aren't going to do anything if anything happens. So
Listen, I need everybody to subscribe. I need you to follow, and I need you to watch the Evening Rush Network each and every week. We are on Apple. Yo, I'm sorry, you got me laughing. We're now on Pandora, iHeartRadio. We are also on Odyssey now, which is new. We'll be on the Fire Stick. It's just we're waiting for the final stuff going on, so we'll be on the Fire Stick as well. I'm laughing at Lovable. She got me dying in
I
the
know you said because
comments.
don't nobody go to Burger King, and you can have it your way.
Fact. So let's shout out our sponsors once for the most part. We gotta show our appreciation to them.
Oh, I'm
Shout,
supposed to read this, huh?
yeah, you was.
Oh, dang! I thought I was gonna get away this week. So the sponsors for the Evening Rush with Dawn and Rainbow are the Gallery each and every Tuesday on CaribbeanPowerJams.com.
And
Industry 20.
don't forget, hold on, don't forget,
Batman Benny
just
every
got off the
Wednesday,
air. Yeah.
6 to 7. It's 6 to 7.
No, it's 5 p.m.
5
to
to
6
6.
p.m. on the
So,
Evening Rush network radio. Go ahead.
so I wasn't the reason that you missed this. You just missed this on your own because it had nothing to do with me. Okay. Okay. Yes. Industry 21 magazine. Please go out and support. Get that magazine. Plush vodka. If you are looking for a gluten-free vodka, they have 2 flavors: original and plum.
And plum is
Also,
amazing.
a cause, a concern, a solution network Inc. CW has a lot of community service going on. Hot Commodities Cosmetics. You looking for some good old makeup, lashes, all of that.
Right now, I don't know if the website is still up. I think she's under construction, but
Okay.
we'll double check that information and then we'll let y'all know. Shout out to Envious Creation. What can you say?
I got on an Envious Creation.
Yeah, myself too. Amazing brownies, amazing cakes.
Oh yeah, I went and got some brownies today, y'all.
She does it all. If you have she party plans, so if you need a party and you want it planned out, Envious Creations take care of that. And she got some new stuff coming up. I think she's getting a 360 mission also. So, that'll be in the works when you plan that party.
Watch out now. And Martine Felton.
There you go.
You go to martinefelton.com. You can get yourself a tarot reading. She's got 2 amazing books. She's a life coach. That woman told me to quit my job and I did it, and it was the best decision I ever made.
So, like we said, we're gonna have Dr. Fink in from Prince and the Revolution. We're gonna have a great interview with him. I think we're gonna go into a commercial now, and we're gonna come back with Dr. Fink. So it's the Evening Rush. Let it do what it do.
Looking to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
Now a message from our sponsors. Envious Creations for your baked good needs. Follow them on Instagram at Envious Creations with a Z or call or text 347-984-3963. Martine Felton, author of You Love, You Learn. Download her book at www.martinefelton.com. She is also a life coach and author and intuitive. Plush Vodka, are you looking for a good premium flavored vodka? We'll order yours now at www.plushvodka.com. Are you looking for a change in your community? Well, follow Chaplain Christine Winslow and her Cause of Concern and Solution Inc. Follow them on team_Winslow on Instagram. Hot Commodity Cosmetics and Lash Studios. Order your cosmetics now at hotcommoditykosmetics.com or follow them on Instagram at hotcommodity_cosmetics. Industry 21 Magazine Apparel. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at Industry 21 Mag or I21 Apparel on Instagram and Facebook. And those are our sponsors of The Evening Rush with Dawn and Rainbow. If you're looking to be a sponsor, feel free to email us at theeveningrush@gmail.com for inquiries. And don't forget to catch us here each and every Wednesday at 7 p.m. and follow us on Instagram at The Evening Rush Show.
Feels just like last week I was asking for your name. There's no mistaking in between us was a flame. And I'm still reeling from the suddenness of some things that I forgot how to feel. And all these girls tore me down to this, that I forgot that love is real. I'm falling, catch me. I'm needing all you give me. Girl, I'm falling in love. I don't wanna lose your love tonight. I just wanna make sure we're alright. What we doing feels so wrong, it's right. So wrong, it's right. Can't lose your sight. And what is real? So many voices around, we're off the rails. And what we know just might kill us slow. Afraid I lost your love so long ago. Oh,
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? We are back.
Hey,
The
Don.
Evening Rush each and every Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Get it
on the
together,
Evening Rush
please, sir.
Network with Dawn and Rainbow. We got Dr. Fink in the building.
Dr. Fink.
For those that wanted to know, the video was Dr. Fink's son, Maximilian, and he just did that video. You can definitely go check that out on YouTube. Dr. Fink, how are you doing?
I'm good,
How's
considering all the alternatives out there.
Definitely, with everything going on.
Yeah.
I always start my interviews saying the same thing. Who is Dr. Fink? Let the world know who Dr. Fink is.
Okay. Dr. Fink is first and foremost was the keyboardist for Prince and the Revolution from 1978 through almost through 1991. And after that, I became a local and international music producer for various projects around, different artists. But, since I was based here in Minneapolis, I did a lot of stuff here.
Mm.
Nice.
Yeah. Over the years, still continuing to work. Right now, we're in my studio, which is called the operating room.
Okay. Because you're a doctor, of course.
Minnesota, yes. And then I also work with another company that has a studio here in Minneapolis called River Rock Studios.
Mm.
Wow. I want to know, what was it like working with Prince?
Well, it was a dream come true. I mean, when I met him in 1978, we were both 20 years old, just kids. And he was, about 19 when he got signed to Warner Brothers. And he was putting his band together, and I had the opportunity to audition for his group. And for whatever reason, he decided to bring me on board.
Whatever reason, you say that like you don't know that you have skills.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, it was it was love at first sight, really, for me. Listen at first sight. Love at first listen. Let's put it that way. How's that?
Mm.
Yeah.
So was it was it easy to work with Prince? Because a lot of people, had different things they said that, some things were difficult, sometimes it wasn't.
First of all, I know how artists work, and people like Prince and others like him in the industry are usually, they're perfectionists and they want their stuff to be just right, and they have a vision. And I knew this about Prince, so right from the get-go, and I just accommodated him as best I could. Were there moments of him saying, "Hey, wait a minute there, that wasn't cool. What'd you do?" Or, "Hey, you made a mistake during the show. We can't have that." There's always that with everybody. I don't care who you are, and it just comes with the territory. I wouldn't say it was like difficult, just demanding.
Mm.
And you had to live up to his standards, which were quite high.
Well, he said he was demanding. Maybe I'm just too demanding.
That's right. He was very demanding, but he handled things pretty well, though. I mean, he was a great band leader, and he had great ideas all the time, and he just was a constant fountain of creativity. It was just hard enough to keep up with him because he worked so hard. He had this, if people thought James Brown was the hardest working man in show business, Prince rivaled him. I think.
And Prince was much younger.
Well, yeah, but James started out young too.
Yeah. But
I mean, they say Prince had a whole bunch of songs that he didn't release, so he was working hard.
Oh yeah, I mean, just the sheer amount, the sheer volume of what he has sitting in his archives is unbelievable. And really, one of the only other artists that I know of that were that prolific was another fellow Minnesotan, Bob Dylan. There's like just a treasure trove of stuff coming out from his catalog these days that they're releasing too, and he hasn't even left the earth yet. So Prince, though, he I don't know, he couldn't turn it off. It was like going in his head the whole time. He had divine inspiration, I think. Pretty sure.
So you were in a one of the most amazing movies.
I was just about to say, how was it like being in Purple Rain?
Yeah.
What was it like being in Purple Rain?
Yeah.
Well, it was a great learning experience and a great adventure, because there were things that we had to do to prepare to do the film. So the summer of 1983, the whole band and anybody else in the movie, like the Time and the Vanity Six, or was Apollonia 6 by then, but everybody involved who were actors and everybody who were inexperienced actors. I had the most experience out of our group of acting, because when I was a kid growing up, I did a lot of acting and work and things like that, because my parents were actors and actually did a lot of local theater and TV commercials and voiceover, all that stuff. So they got me involved at a young age. In fact, I had my own radio show when I was 14 called Healthy, Happy, and Safe, which was the University of Minnesota's educational channel. And I was brought in at the age of 14 to interview a real live doctor every week for local schools with health topics. And they had the script.
Is that where you came up with the whole doctor?
Kinda. There was a little bit of that influence later, but no, I wasn't thinking of that at the time. I'd kind of forgotten that I did that at the time, but later on, but it came to light, and I went, "Oh, maybe it was a subconscious desire to be a good doctor." So, anyway, so being in the movie was a great learning experience, and we had to prepare that summer of '83. And Prince brought in a acting coach and a choreographer to work with everybody. So we'd go to these classes, maybe you'd call it tutoring, every day. in the mornings and afternoon, and then we'd get down to recording, and by like late afternoon we'd be recording into the evening, and like songs like Purple Rain were actually developed in this warehouse not far from the high school I went to, only a few short blocks from there. He had
I absolutely love that movie and the entire soundtrack. There's not a song on there that I don't like.
It's great stuff. All I can say is it's a work of art that just holds up constantly. I mean, it's just universal. But anyway, so that's what we did. We prepped for the movie, and then we did the movie. And it's a lot of hurry up and wait when you're shooting a film, as you know, probably being on any movie sets. They're moving lights around, and they've got to plan every shot, and the camera dolly has to go here, and they get it all going, and it can take hours on end just to prep for a shot. So we were on call from like 6 a.m. until 10 at night.
Oh no.
And
there was no guarantee when you would actually.
And there's no guarantee when you'd be on camera or when but most of the stuff we did was at First Avenue, the nightclub. And then there was another area where we did the dressing room scene in another building, not in downtown Minneapolis, another suburban location that they'd built a set for that. So those were the two main areas where the band was for filming.
Okay.
And, but yeah, I learned a lot doing that. And the only other movie set I'd ever really attended to was the old movie Airport, which was filmed in 1970 at the Minneapolis airport. And that was a major motion picture that they filmed here. And my parents were in it.
Okay.
Wow.
They were actually in the film as walk-on extras in the terminal. You could actually see them walking across in a scene, everything. And I watched it. Then I watched it. They had like Dean Martin was one of the starring roles. He was there. George Kennedy and Burt Lancaster. All these people were in this thing. Big famous movies.
Big names.
Yeah. So they came here because they had to have a blizzard, and they got one. So because it was anyway.
Because you said you was doing this since the age of 20. Well, age of 20 is when you.
No, when you joined Prince, but
but what made you get into the music business?
Go back to my first band when I was just not quite 13 years old. We played our first gig at somebody's bar mitzvah.
And what was the name of your band?
That band was called Odella, and that was spelled Odella. We don't know what it means.
It just sound good to you
it
guys?
Sounded good.
It sounded good. It looked good. It was like, what is that? And then I don't know. I think our guitar player came up with that. He was taking French in 7th grade, and he says, I think we should call it Odella. And I said, what does that mean? He says beyond in French.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's not spelled like that, but I want to spell it Odella. And I went, okay, great. And then I printed up all the cards in shop class for Odella, like yellow with black print. And we went
that yellow and black.
We went to all the junior high schools in the Twin Cities and handed cards out to people that were in charge of booking school dances. And we started getting booked around the Twin Cities. It was crazy. And then by the time we were in 9th grade with that band, we won it. The name changed to Wizard. I changed the name because we got some new members on board, and I wanted to change the name. And then we won a battle of the bands for one of the big local rock and roll radio stations.
Look at that. I wish they did stuff like that here. They don't do stuff like that here.
Yeah, we were all 15 years old at the time, I think, when we did that.
So
hey,
started
young.
Young age. Yeah, he started young.
Started young with a great potential.
That's what happened.
Exactly. And this is one of the things that led you to being a part of Revolution.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We getting to know you here.
Yeah.
So what was it like once I know they stopped doing it. I think it went towards more like a solo career for Prince because they stopped saying the Revolution. It was no longer Prince and the Revolution. It was more just Prince.
Well, it became Prince and the New Power generation, which I was actually in that group too for 4 years.
Okay.
After the Revolution was disbanded, I was there on tour with Prince, and I played with this side group called Madhouse that Prince did with Eric Leeds, which was this kind of jazz funk fusion thing that we did.
Prince just loved you. He took you wherever he went.
Yes, that is correct.
So
that means you have skills.
Yeah, I have some skills.
just a little, right?
Look at that. Wait, he's wearing a weird keyboard thing on his shirt. What is that? It's the rock and roll. Oh, okay. Sorry.
I love it. So, as you know, time went on, unfortunately, we lost Prince, which was like devastating to us all.
Just horrible, horrendous loss, really, for everybody.
What was the plan after that for you?
The plan right away was to get the Revolution back together, because Prince had actually talked to me about it a couple years earlier. He was interested in reuniting with the band. I really think he eventually would have, had he not gotten sidetracked by the Third Eye Girl thing that he was doing, that band. But he, at the time he was doing that, he said to me that he was highly interested in doing something with the group again. And I said, well, I'm on board whenever you're ready. And then I thought for sure maybe that year that he passed away that things might start to happen for that. But then, we lost him. So what we did is we were all aware because of that meeting. I told everybody, and Bobby Z, the drummer, was in on that meeting too. So just the two of us, not the other band members. But then we just said, hey, Prince is interested in reuniting, and everybody just went, great, tell him to call me. So anyway, what happened is we got together to do a memorial show for him at First Avenue, and that was in September of 2016. We did 3 shows in a row, because the first one we were only going to do one and it sold out. Then we added a second one and that sold out, and then we said let's do 3 in a row, and we did. And then we waited until about late winter, early spring 2017, and then we started touring in earnest again around the country. And then we went to Europe in 2018. And we were supposed to, we did some gigs in 2019, not a lot, not as many. And then that's the summer of 2020, we were supposed to do Europe and Japan. And then, of course,
COVID hit.
Yeah. And so we've just been on hiatus since then. Theoretically, we could do some shows now, but, other members of the group are busy with other projects right now. So it's not quite there yet, but next year there's talk of doing some things. Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to know, how did Prince's death affect you?
It was hard. It was like losing a brother or a family member. I mean, everybody was very, very sad about it. Of course, everyone that ever worked with him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That I know once I heard it, because I was in.
I think I cried.
In New York. Yeah, I did cry a little tear, because man.
I was at work, my other job at that time, which was this working for this tech company where I was doing music and helping develop a music streaming service and a record label and all that stuff. And then the pandemic hit. Of course, I was with that company for a total of over 6.5 years, and things are just kind of on hiatus with that right now. But we're getting ready to start back out again, because the artists couldn't get out and tour that were signed. We had 6 artists there, and they couldn't tour because of COVID. But now things are starting to open up again, so we're going to restart the label, and hopefully I'll have this gentleman that helped me get on your show, Terrence Russ. Is going to be
I was just
great guy, really, really great at what he does. And
yes, definitely.
Yeah. And, the potential for this company is, several $1 million, hopefully,
so definitely
with that label. And my son, he was signed to the label previously. Right now, he's kind of on a break, but, and that's Max Millie.
Well, I was about to get into Max Millie with you.
Yeah.
And that goes right into my question of
sure.
Now that your son is starting to do his own thing, what are your feelings about how you're gonna push him, or are you gonna push him to do more successful things such as you? Because you already have the experience, so it's just now guiding him.
Yes, and he's way more prolific than I am. I mean, my strengths are in being a great sideman, keyboardist, and producer, and doing all these things that I've done since leaving Prince. But he is a solo artist, is really, he's got the voice, he's got the chops, and he did it all himself. He really, I wasn't heavily hands-on with him growing up. I let him find himself and learn, find how he wanted to develop his style and everything. There was, obviously he learned through what I like to call osmosis, being around me, and hearing what I was doing and watching. I mean, from the time he was just a baby, he was on my lap watching me play piano for him. I'd sit him there and do that. So that influence is invaluable for a young child. In the meantime, but I believe me, he learned a lot on his own. He worked, I had other teachers working with him growing up too. I wasn't always the teacher because I was very busy myself.
Yeah.
I did show him some things, but he's got a great ear. And as a writer, he's way ahead of me at his age than I was, in my opinion. I think and he's got his finger on the pulse of the contemporary sound, and he's cutting edge, really. He's doing things that are very new and different and original, in my opinion. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not biased because I'm
listen.
Because that's your son. No.
Well, and the other thing, just as an aside to that, when we had our record label starting up at the end of 2019, which was this big company here called ADX Labs. It was behind.
I was about to say, what was the name of it?
They have several divisions in there, and they were the help with the label in the beginning. And anyway, he said, "Hey Matt, or Dad, can I get some of my songs on the streaming service you guys put together, which was called My Music?" And I said, "Yeah, well, let me play it for some of the people in the company and see what they say," because they were featuring artists on the front page of that for you get like 3 weeks to a month of just being featured with a bunch of different artists, so you get visibility. And they heard his stuff and they just loved it and said, "Wow, this is really good. This is your kid?" I go, "Yeah."
Why would they say it like that?
Are you surprised he was my kid? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. So then when they decided to pull the trigger on starting a record label, they said, "We'd like to sign him, be one of the first artists on the label." And I said, "Great, go for it." And that's how that came to be. He did it all on his own merits. There was no nepotism at all.
Yeah.
No favoritism, none of
That's
that.
good.
No.
See, and
as a child who has a famous parent, it feels better when you've done it yourself
on your own
than somebody like, so you're Dr. Fink's son. Oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah, see, and I didn't want that to be a determining factor for him, and I kind of wanted to stay in the background. I didn't want to go too heavy on the saying, "Hey, it's Dr. Fink's kid," because then people might think, "Oh, that's he's he's got a head start over everybody else." Dr. Fink.
Yeah, he has to build. It's about building your own lane, and that's amazing that he's doing it.
But I have to say that when his music is out there with people, and actually, that collaboration he did with Darko, the EDM artist that you played, that's Darko's music and my son's melody and lyric on there and him singing in it. But his other material is a whole nother space
it's another genre.
Yeah, it's a thing from the EDM. So if anybody wants to hear more of what he does, check out his SoundCloud link, check him out on Spotify.
Why do the name sounds so familiar? Like I feel like I've listened to it and I was probably like, "Oh, this is cool."
Well, didn't
realize who it was.
Well, during COVID, he was being promoted by the label. There were things happening for him that way. So, and that will continue. But like I said, things kind of went on hiatus for since about April. At the moment.
Well, I mean, COVID affected everybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I mean,
you had to think of ways to, keep yourself relevant, and that was one of the reasons why we started the network.
I mean, if you're a fledgling artist like my son and many of the other ones that were on the label, it's hard because they had to get out and play. You got to get out and promote yourself. Only so much you can do online or airplay or whatever you're doing. You got to be playing at festivals and doing regular live work. These
live events.
Yeah, people. When you go to festivals and there are people who their names are not familiar to you,
right?
And you hear them, you're like, wait a minute, hold up, let me go and check out what else they do. That's how a lot of people find out what a lot of artists that they like. They didn't realize that. Okay. You're right.
Exactly.
Festivals are the way to go. You do have to get out and work.
and back in the day, when I was working with Prince in the early years, we had to go and play all the little showcase clubs across the country and open for other artists and do things like that. And
it just sounds so weird. Like Prince had to go and open for somebody else.
Yeah. He's impatient in those days. He wanted to headline as soon as possible. But I got to tell you, in late, it was like November, I think, of '79. And then all throughout the first 6 months of 1980, we had our big break opening for Rick James.
Right.
How was that?
That was crazy.
They said Rick James was a
crazy tour. Believe me, Rick James was a character of the utmost, greatness, really. I mean, I respect him greatly. He's an amazing songwriter, excellent material that he wrote. And he'd worked with some other really great artists before he became successful. And at writing and playing in bands and stuff. So he was funny, but Prince, he just, after that experience, he said, I want to headline as soon as we can.
But of course, why not?
But we got our break. That you got that exposure, and that's what it's to me. Festivals are cool. That's great. But if you can be the opening act for just one big, really big artist, you'll get more attention.
To speak of that, there was one time I went to a concert, and I mean, this person, he had his own name, but as he opened for someone else, and I was like, wait a minute, I gotta go back and listen to this album. I don't remember this. You don't realize it, until you actually hear it live. When you hear live music, it just sounds so much better. It's like food to your soul.
Yes.
So what was it like opening for the Rolling Stones?
You could tell that was good. Look at see that face.
Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't.
The Rolling Stones. Yeah. Okay. They have a certain faction in their audience that tend to be not very nice. Okay, because it's a tough, hard drinking kind of biker faction in there. Not everybody. Just they're they had the Hells Angels were their bodyguards.
Yeah.
And the Hells Angels were there being security up front.
Say less.
And along with them come some other
we know a lot about that.
People in the audience,
Yeah.
And to me, what happened was, as we get on stage, we're the opening act. There's 4 bands on the bill. There's Prince, George Thorogood and the Destroyers, Jay Giles Band, and then the Stones. And we're on late in the afternoon when the sun is still up. It's like 4 or 5, and we go on.
So it's hot.
For like
drinking.
It's like a 35-minute set. We're just. Mick Jagger loved Prince. That's why he asked us to open for him. He loved this new up and coming whatever he was. The Dirty Mind album had just come out and it was really different. The critics were loving it, and so we get on stage, and within just the first song, we're on stage and people started throwing stuff at food and cups and bottles. They were throwing stuff and they were flipping us the bird, and they were, what is this guy? Who is this? What is this kind of a band? you know, they couldn't figure him out because Prince. Picture a guy. He's wearing a black trench coat with studs, open with a red bandana. He's wearing a shirt.
I love it.
But he's got black bikini briefs and thigh-high leg warmer stockings with high-heel boots.
I love it.
Well, who doesn't love that, right? I loved it. Who doesn't love that? But what happens?
Not them.
Audience, those people who I thought were like, hey, we're the '60s hippies generation with the Stones and blah blah blah. But no, they've got a much different thing from than the British invasion of the Beatles to the Stones. It's a different, more little more, you know. So not everybody. They're just a few rude people in there that didn't get Prince. They didn't get this mixed race band, you know, with 3 white people and 3 black people, and you singing about, like, what is he singing about? The song "Sister." Oh my God, it's incest. Oh no, there was all this stuff going on, and from the message,
they didn't take the time to figure it out either.
No, just the image that he threw out to the people in the audience was, for some of them, was too much for their psyche, for their racist mentality. I'll just put it that way.
But then at some point did they warm up? Because I know majority of times when you listening to good music, eventually you warm up.
Well,
and you start to embrace.
All I'm saying is there are people out there that probably were getting it and went, yeah, cool. But then you had that whatever that percentage out there that was being rude to us.
They weren't listening, so it doesn't matter if the music was good. They weren't listening to it to find out if it was good.
Right, and then even later on, when Mick took the stage, at one point, people threw their shoes at him on stage. They weren't like physically trying to get him, but I don't know why they did this, but they must have thrown a dozen pair of shoes on stage or more.
I don't know. Black people, that's a good thing. If you throw your shoe at somebody, that means they're doing a good job.
I'll never forget that. And you know what Mick said to him in his beautiful British accent? I ain't a fucking doormat, you know? And that's what he said to the audience. And they all, you know.
So I was doing a little digging, and I saw that you was working with Howard Stern. Great man. How did you deal with that?
Great man.
Great man.
What about Howard Stern again? Say that again.
I said, how was it like working with Howard Stern?
Did I work with Howard Stern?
You was on the show.
I was on Howard Stern's show?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Don didn't.
I was on Sirius. I interviews at Sirius XM, but I don't think I've been on Howard's show.
I'll double check that information.
Well, whatever.
Definitely. Yeah.
I know that you are a
show. I've been on several different shows there, but not Howard. I wish I could be on his show though. So if you can book me on there, I'd love to be on it.
We'll see what we can do.
I love Howard.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I know that you are a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
For people who may not know, who have you written songs for besides, Prince?
Probably not anybody you know. That's
how do you know that? Tell me.
Well, just because they're all local artists that really didn't get a ton of exposure. Not a lot. It's like although I did work on other people's records as a session player. I played on a lot of stuff, over the years.
Okay.
But Lip Sync, the Jets, people there's some artists in Europe that have done well over there that I'm sure the U.S. people don't know. There's a dance group called Insider over there that has done well. But I've been mainly a mentor to younger artists locally here. And,
okay.
And there's a particular artist. There's an artist I've been working with the last 5.5 years by the name of Michelle Rose. She's on YouTube. She has a music channel on there called Michelle Rose Music, and you can catch her videos. She's got quite a few there, and those are all songs I've written or co-written with her.
All right, y'all hear that, people? Check it out on YouTube.
And my son Max has done some stuff for her as well.
So one last question, because you said you also do production.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody special you've been producing for lately?
Yeah, there's a group from Philadelphia it's kind of they aren't really out playing live yet, but they've got people in the band that have other groups that are out playing around. But they're called Kelvin 27. It's not out yet. It's going to be an EP, and it's a themed EP. It's very science fiction themed with science fiction artwork, and each song is an actual story unto itself within the EP.
I like storytelling.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, definitely.
Things like that.
And
That's
one
one of
thing,
the current projects I'm working on right now.
one more thing.
Mhm.
What is it like winning a Grammy?
I'm sorry?
Grammys.
Say
What
that
is it like to win a
winning
Grammy?
Yeah.
Oh, well, again, it's you have to pinch yourself like that. Go, did we really do that? Back in the day. And yeah, it's exciting. And if it wasn't for Prince, I wouldn't have any Grammys. So I just was there with him.
You weren't just there; you were helping out.
Yeah,
I helped, but people have to remember he was the main writer.
Yeah.
Wrote some things with him over the years, but nothing compared to how prolific he was on his own.
See, the one thing, even though we definitely love Prince, if it wasn't for the revolution, it's a teamwork thing. It's a brotherhood. Y'all work together as a team, and y'all was great brotherhood wise.
Very true. That record was a
sisterhood.
true collaboration with the band and Prince. You're right about that. So that's very fortunate. But again, the brainchild of it all.
The brainchild in the face.
Yes, right.
The face. Well,
Him
thank
and his
you,
high heels.
Dr. Fink. We definitely appreciated your time. And this was an amazing.
Wait! I never got my question out, Don.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where did Dr. Fink come from? Like, what made you come up with the name Doctor?
Okay.
It could have been anything.
Well, Prince came to me. He said, you're kind of a quirky dude. I want you to be the one guy in the band that attracts the quirky people. And I go, okay. And so my first image that I chose was a guy in a black and white striped jail suit outfit. Because I'm a rebel at heart. I'm a rebel. I'm also like, not that I'm a criminal, but people were wrongly accused of things, and they had to wear these jail suits. That could have been me. And so when we went on that Rick James tour I mentioned earlier, Rick James did this song during his set called "Bustin' Out of L7." Look that up. And he'd come on stage wearing a big black and white striped jail suit, and then he'd tear the top off halfway through the song and expose his whole upper body. So the women were like, hey, And so Prince saw this about 3 shows into the tour, and he goes, Rick James is wearing your jail suit, and he's the headliner.
You got to come up with something different.
You got to have a different outfit. You got anything else in your head for that? And I went, yeah, but I didn't go with the doctor suit because I thought it was too plain. I thought the black and white stripe looked cooler to go with keyboard, black and white keyboards. It harkened back to Jailhouse Rock with Elvis Presley, I thought. It's like, it's got a rock and roll history, the guy in a jail suit, right? And nobody was wearing a jail suit. And New Wave was happening big time. And that was a very New Wave fashion statement. So he said, I'm really sorry, you're going to have to change it. I love the doctor suit idea. Let's go get you one right now. So they went out. We had one wardrobe gal on tour with us. She went out to a place and got me all the scrubs and all the doctor stuff, paraphernalia. And that was it. I became Dr. Fink that evening in Chicago.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Just that quick.
Just like that. And it's stuck ever since. I'm not the first doctor of music. You had Doc Severinsen. You had the people that introduced us on the Midnight Special was Dr. Hook. Remember that band?
But
Dr. Hook
you're
had
one
a
of you're one of the great doctors.
yes, but
You're
I was
Dr.
You
Fink.
and Dr. Dre are the only doctors that we respect.
yeah, but I wasn't even a doctor. I wasn't a doctor yet, even. And Dr. Hook introduced the band, and then Dr. Dre. I don't know if you know this. Now, if you go back in time and look at old videos of his early years, he wore a purple doctor suit when he was a DJ in his formative moments. You seen that?
Yeah.
And he, in an interview, he said, "I was inspired by Dr. Fink."
Look at that.
Doctor suit.
See?
Look at see you talking about I wasn't the you hello, you inspired one of the greatest.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dr. Fink, this is the part of the show where we ask you your last thoughts and to leave with everybody with a gem.
Okay.
So we'll ask you, how do you want to go out?
How I want to go out today from this interview, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I just, being the doctor that I am and knowing, and I do study medicine quite a bit. I do. I keep up on technology, medicine, you name it. I'm there. In fact, I should have an honorary doctorate from somewhere, I think.
You should tell somebody.
Yeah, but regardless of that, I want to encourage everyone who may not believe in vaccines to get their vaccine. I've had all 5 shots that you can get now. I have the first 2, I had the other 2 boosters, and I just got the 5th one for Omicron. And it's a half the dose of the previous ones. I had a little bit of a sore arm, and here, how am I doing? I'm doing great. I haven't had COVID yet. I'm one of the rare few people, but that's because
good for you, because we have.
Yes, but it's just because I don't go anywhere. No, but just kidding. But the point is, I've known too many people who waited too long to get the vaccine, and they got very sick, and now they have some long COVID issues. And in fact, there was one person in particular. I was working with another producer. I'm not going to say who it is. I'm not going to go into it.
No, you don't have to. Yeah.
But he had got it in at the end of summer of 21, and he didn't make it. He was only 55.
Wow.
Condolences.
Brilliant songwriter and producer. And that's all I'm going to say. Devastating loss for me and people around him.
Right.
Let them know what
he put it off too long. He said, "I'm going to get vaccinated. Don't worry." And then he did.
Yeah, we've lost a couple of people to COVID as well.
Yeah,
so, we definitely know the feeling.
People that you lost, you mean? People you lost?
Yeah.
So
I've lost family members, so I definitely understand, and
so it's
absolutely.
And so and unfortunately, I know people who had the 4 shots and they still got sick, and they had a rough time with it, but they survived. The issue is it's your immune system, how it reacts. It's how your lifestyle, how you take care of yourself. It's so many factors. They're studying people, and they're studying people who've not gotten COVID yet to see if there's a genetic factor and learn from that to maybe help with preventing.
So they're coming to test you.
They should, but I didn't tell them yet because I don't want to be a guinea pig.
They know now.
No, I don't. Strike that from the record.
How can they, if anybody want to work with you, how could they find you?
Oh, well, they can find me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. My email is available, I guess, if you want to give it out for that purpose.
No, if you got IG or something like that.
Yeah, IG.
If you have what is your name on Instagram?
It's just Matt Fink, I believe.
I'm not sure.
Hang on. Let me double check because I'm not a huge Instagram user, but I do occasionally there. Yes, it is.
Yeah, hear that? Matt Fink on Instagram and
right.
Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And
Matthew Fink on Facebook, and then I have a Dr. Fink fan page on Facebook as well, a separate one.
So go and like and subscribe to that. It's 2 people.
Yes. And if you're looking
but
for
we
a
only
producer,
talking about serious business. Don't be in that man DMs for no stupidness.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
So Rainbow, how do you want to go out?
Matt Fink 1 on Instagram.
Don't forget the 1.
1.
What is this, Don? You put up there.
Yeah.
Don't forget the 1. Matt Fink 1.
1. You can. Yeah, I'm the one and only Matt Fink.
Amen.
Not really good.
I'd like to go out by saying I want to thank you, Dr. Fink, for gracing us with your presence. I want to thank you, Dawn, for always being my co-host. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in, everyone who was on the check-ins, and God bless and good night.
Thanks for having me.
And I just want to go out like normal, saying thank everybody that was in the comments. We definitely appreciate you. Remember, always, you can download the Evening Rush Network app, hear all our shows in entirety. You can also listen to the Evening Rush Network radio. Mm-hmm. You also can go on Pandora, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all the other podcast sites if you want to listen to us. And always check out the eveningrushnetwork.com. So we're everywhere. The industry is up next. And then, we got sports after that. But I also want to go out most saying thank you, Dr. Fink, for all the work that you have done. You are a great historian. And we definitely appreciate you and everything that you brought to the music world. It was you laid down an amazing history, and we definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So on that note, we are out. See y'all next week. Appreciate y'all.
My nephew told me I'm a king and that crown fitted. You can catch me in the